Hey Warren, what's up? How you doing today? You know me, I'm Joe Bob One Half. Anyway, a couple things I want to say. Some of it's fact, most of it's opinion, some of it's mixed. Anyway, about Saddam and how Bush, or rather Clinton, killed 1 million Iraqis. In a way he did, but for the most part, no. For the most part, it's not that Clinton killed 1 million Iraqis because of the medical and trade embargoes on Iraq. Saddam is the one who killed his people. I mean, yes, maybe we shouldn't have had such harsh embargoes, but you know what? The point of trade embargoes is that maybe the leader will see the suffering of the people and then change his ways. He was supposed to be letting inspectors in. He wasn't supposed to be seeking chemical warfare and, developing it and gassing his own people. And that's why we had trade embargoes on him. And he could have done things to prevent that. He could have, allowed the inspectors in at every turn. But he didn't. And instead of, then, I'm not getting food from the U.S., so I think I'm going to go ahead and take, maybe $1 million out of my salary, out of my $100 million a year salary, and give it to the people. No. I'm just going to stockpile gold and U.S. dollars and other foreign currency in my palaces that are lined with gold, so I can live in luxury while my people starve. Yes, it's partially Clinton's fault. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying that a lot of it is Saddam's fault. He's a fucking bastard. And I'll be glad when he dies. But this leads on into Bush. The reason why we went in the first place, we went into Iraq in the first place, is because Saddam had a history of seeking chemical and biological weapons. Okay? He had a history of it. You know that. You're an intelligent person. You know that. I know that. Also, he refused dozens of times to let inspectors in. UN resolutions that everybody's always so worried about. Whenever there's a UN resolution against Israel, Israel's supposed to drop whatever it's doing and, stop immediately. But when there's a resolution against Saddam, he's Saddam. He's allowed to do whatever the fuck he wants. Okay, Saddam was ordered like half a dozen or a dozen times to, at least a dozen, probably a good dozen, times to let inspectors in to look in his country. And he refused. I don't think he let any in after like 1998 or something. So if you don't let inspectors in, that's pretty fucking suspicious. And you basically defy the UN. You say, well, you can do whatever the fuck you want. I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want. So there, ha ha ha. What are you going to do? And the information. You say that Bush specifically lied to us about the weapons of mass destruction to get us into the country. To get the oil. Or maybe to get back at him because he tried to kill my daddy. No. What got us in there was not just Bush lying. Maybe he fibbed a little bit. It's possible he distorted the facts. I don't let anything outside the realm of possibility. It's possible. But the thing is that the FBI did. The FBI said it. Interpol said it. The Israeli Secret Service said it. The Russian Secret Service said it. And of course, Britain said it. I don't think Russia actually went in with us. So, why would they say that Saddam... why would they lie about Saddam having weapons of mass destruction if they didn't even come with us? They might have, though. Don't hold me to that if they did. It's too late. I need to go to bed soon, but I got work in the morning. But anyway. So, it's not like Bush necessarily lied to us. He was misinformed. Is it possible that he found out the truth a lot earlier than now? Yes, it's highly possible. But it was an election year, and he didn't want to let that out. All presidents are crooks, man. Anyway, I believe that's all I wanted to talk about your video. If there's anything, and I'll just splice it in right here. Didn't get a chance to talk about Kerry yet. A couple things I want to say about him. One thing, did you know that he voted for the Iraq War? Yeah, he did. In fact, out of the Senate, 77 voted pro-war, versus when we were going to war initially, 77 voted go to war, and 23 voted don't go to war. Also in the House, if I remember the numbers correctly, I believe it was 296 voted go to war, versus whatever the rest is. I think it was 124, 126, something like that, voted against it. But the majority voted for the war. Anyway, yeah, so, now you may say, well, they only voted because Bush lied to us. Well, I already said that earlier. I'm not going to talk about that anymore. One other thing. My dad was in Vietnam. He was in Special Forces. 2 tours, Vietnam, okay? Not because he wanted to be there, but because he was drafted. One thing he didn't like about Kerry, he was there for he was in Vietnam for about 2 or 3 years. And, well, in Vietnam, he got 4 Purple Hearts over that entire span of time. And that was for being, shot. Like, shot enough that he had to be evac'd. Stabbed enough that he had to be evac'd. Blown out of a tank enough where he had to get back surgery. Oh, and shot again through the leg. But, yeah, the reason why he didn't like Kerry is because Kerry was in there for what, like... He was definitely in there for under 6 months. He was in the fucking Capitol. And he got 4 Purple Hearts and a Bronze Star. No, 3 Purple Hearts and a Bronze Star. He came back. He bashed the troops. He called them all baby killers. And then, 30 years later, he wants to run for president on the thing that I was a war hero in the Capitol. And, I was a war hero, and I have all these medals to prove it. But I don't want to talk about them. It's because, you bashed our country, and then you bashed your service, you threw away your medals, and now you want to hold them close to you and say, look at me, I got medals, hooray! Yeah. So, now I was too young to vote in the last election, but had I voted, I would have voted for Bush, simply because Kerry was a lying, manipulative douchebag. And that's all about that. Okay, I guess that's all. This is Joe Bob 1/2. You know who I am, and you know what I preach. Love and peace.